Canya McCann, Fickadim as a man. There was once a man called Ashab, and Ashab lived with his wife and his children, and they had very little. They only had in the world one cow, moo, and one horse, neigh. Oh, what are we going to do? We have nothing left to eat, wife, said Ashab. I'm going to have to sell either the cow, moo, or the horse, neigh. Well, Ashab thought and thought and thought, well, if I sell the horse, how will I travel? I will have to sell the cow. So he tied a rope around the cow's neck and he started walking towards the town where the market was, where he could sell the cow. Now, in that neighborhood, there were three friends, three mean and selfish and cruel, greedy friends. And they thought, that fool Ashab, we will make sure that he doesn't get a good price for that cow. They were mean-spirited. They went and they hid. And when Ashab was going along, pulling the cow behind him, one of those friends jumped out from behind a tree and said, Ashab, Ashab, where are you going with that cow? I'm taking this cow to market to sell it for a good price. Ashab, you won't sell that cow for a good price. In the market today, the merchants are only interested in cows with no tails. What? The merchants will buy a cow without a tail for a good price. You should cut off the cow's tail. Really? Said Ashab. Oh. And Ashab took out his sharp knife and cut off the cow's tail. He went on, leading the cow towards the town, when another neighbor jumped out from behind a rock. Ashab, Ashab, where are you going? I'm taking this cow with no tail to sell in the market for a good price. Oh no, said that neighbor. Ashab, you won't sell that cow for anything at all, because that cow has got two horns. In the market today, the merchants will only pay good money for a cow with no horns. Really? Ashab took out his sharp knife and he began to saw off the cow's horns. Poor cow. Ashab led the cow along the path towards the town. He thought, I'll make good money selling a cow with no tail and no horns, when out from behind a tree appeared the third cruel neighbor. Ashab, are you going to sell that cow in the marketplace? I am. I'll get a good price for a cow with no tail and no horns. No, no, no. You won't get a good price at all. You need to cut off the cow's ears. They'll only buy cows with no ears. What? Said Ashab. Cow with no ears? Oh. Poor Ashab took out his sharp knife and shump, shump, he cut off the cow's ears. Poor thing. And then he led the cow on towards the market. The three cruel friends gathered together and laughed. Ashab won't be able to sell that cow. What a fool! When Ashab arrived in the marketplace, all of the merchants gathered round. Were they going to buy the cow, do you think? What's that? That cow doesn't have any tail or horns or even ears. What kind of cow is that? And all of the merchants walked away. Ashab realized, oh no, those cruel neighbors lied to me. They tricked me. Oh. Ashab finally sold the cow, but he only got 1 dinar for the cow, just 1 dinar. It's not enough. Ashab walked back home. He was so unhappy. And when he reached his home, he said to his wife, "Wife, is there any food left? What are we going to eat? What are our children going to eat?" And she said, "Husband, all we have are these 2 rabbits that you caught yesterday." Well, the rabbits were still alive. What happened? And Ashab told his wife everything, the whole story. Husband, listen, this is what you must do. You take this rabbit and go to the 3 neighbors. I will keep the other rabbit here in the house. Listen, everybody, listen. Right? You got it? You know? Good. Ashab went with that rabbit. He went to find the 3 neighbors. They were together. They were still laughing. "Ashab," they said, "did you manage to sell that cow?" "Yes," said Ashab. "I sold that cow for a very good price. I made a good profit from that cow, and my friends, I thank you. Everybody wanted to buy a cow with no tail, no horns, and no ears. And now I have plenty, and I want to return the favor to you. You see this rabbit? Seeing you now, I would like to invite you to my house to eat. You know my wife will cook a delicious meal for you. Perhaps some soup?" Wait. "Rabbit, oh dear rabbit, go to my house and tell my wife that these 3 good friends are coming to eat with us. Tell her to cook a good soup. Now, mind you remember that, rabbit. I know you will. Goodbye, rabbit. Run, run." And the rabbit hopped away. "What?" said the 3 friends. "You talked to the rabbit?" "Oh, yes," said Ashab. "I talked to the rabbit because this is a very smart rabbit. And that rabbit will tell my wife, and soon there will be a delicious meal, but my wife will need some time to cook. I have 1 dinar here in my pocket. And while we're waiting, I will buy you a coffee." And he took the 3 friends to the local coffee shop. And there they drank coffee. Really? A rabbit that communicates? That can't be true. "Let's go," said Ashab. "The food will be ready." And as they walked towards Ashab's house, they smelt a delicious soup smell in the air. The door opened and there was Ashab's wife. "Oh, welcome, welcome." "You knew we were coming?" said the 3 friends. "Of course, the rabbit told me." And she picked up the rabbit. You know which one. The rabbit that she had kept in the kitchen. Oh, it's a very smart rabbit. "The rabbit told me and even told me what kind of soup you liked best. Please sit down and eat." But the 3 friends were not interested in eating. They said, "Ashab, Ashab, a rabbit that communicates. This is wonderful." The first friend said, "Ashab, I will buy the rabbit from you. I have a good price for you. I'll give you 30 dinar for that rabbit." And he was thinking how much money he could make by showing the world a talking rabbit. "Well," said Ashab, "I don't want to sell the rabbit really, and 30 dinar is not nearly enough." The second one said, "I'll give you 31 dinar. And the third one said, "I'll give you 32 dinar for that rabbit." "No, no, no, no." "But," said Ashab, "if each of you gave me 33 dinar each, then I would give you the rabbit to share." "It's a deal," said the 3 friends, and each of them counted 33 dinar into Ashab's hands. You know how many dinar were in Ashab's hands? Has anybody been listening to this story? There were
99.
Oh, John Rome, you are a good mathematician. There were 99 dinar. 99 dinar. I accept, said Ashab. Here is the rabbit. May this rabbit serve you well. And the three friends hurried off. As they walked up the hill, they talked about their plans. Why, this magic rabbit, he will be famous in all the world, and we will make the profit. And they started to argue. Well, you can imagine these mean-spirited fellows, none of them really wanted to share. But when they reached the top of the hill, they realized that they were still hungry. I know, said one of them. I'll send the rabbit to my wife and ask her to cook us a meal to celebrate. Rabbit, rabbit, go to my house. And he gave the rabbit the directions. Tell my wife to cook the best meal. And he sent the rabbit off, and the rabbit ran quickly. The three friends walked, strolling casually to their home. Well, they came to this first fellow's house finally, but there was no smell of cooking food. And when they went inside, there was that neighbour's wife. And she looked at them. What are you doing here? Wife, where is the food? What? My three friends and I are waiting for our meal. Didn't the rabbit tell you what we wanted? Rabbit? And they told this man's wife the whole story. Oh, you idiots, she said. You fools, a talking rabbit. And it was only now that the three friends realized that Ashab had played a trick on them that was much cleverer than the tricks they had played on him. Ashab, back at his home, counted the money and shared it with his wife. And the children, they laughed, because now they wouldn't be able to buy just one cow to replace the one that they'd sold. They'd buy a whole herd of cows. And Ashab promised that from now on he would always listen to his wife, as all of us men, of course, should. Listen to your wives. This story I learned from Tala Yousof, a wonderful storyteller, 13 years old, from Gaza. I love the stories that you children teach me, and I'm looking forward to learning many, many, many more.